originally, I guess designed for. That's bound to happen. So Africans, we had enough exposure to sunlight in Africa, but when you take us to the northern hemisphere of the world, where colder temperatures, countries with less sunlight, when you put us in places where we have more indoors than outdoors, we lack those vitamins, and that is how we lack vitamin D. That's why vitamin D there's a high deficiency of vitamin D in Africans out in the diaspora. But there's not a lack of vitamin D in Africans in on the continent, because that's where originally where we used to get our sunlight from. Now, the other thing about food, I would agree that in Africa, there's many diets that's lacking a balanced nutrition. Because some of them are heavy on carbs or heavy on certain oils, fats,
Yeah.
but they're not heavy enough on certain types of vitamins that we need. So I can agree with that level. But I would say, okay, like for instance, like Africans who live in Brazil, I don't think they're deficient. The Brazilian food is very, very, very nutrient dense and well balanced. So I don't know. That's why I didn't really want to agree with the globally part of it. I
Okay.
would agree with the
Okay.
Africa
All
part
right.
of
Let
it.
me ask you this. Globally, when you think globally, you think that it's about everyone? What comes to your mind when you think globally?
It's about all the Africans who live all over the world. Yes.
Yes, yes. But it doesn't have to be all, because meaning there are some Africans, let's say all areas of the globe, you will find Africans or Afro people that are that are suffering or destroying themselves from malnutrition. So I do understand there are communities in different areas that could, that's just like you said in Brazil, you probably could have, but you say you think they probably could have a decent meal or decent diet, but still they are still part of which one, Brazil, that people also are malnutrients, that they are suffering from malnutrition. So by that I'm not saying everybody, every single person in the world. That's not what I mean. Globally means in different area, different aspect or different places around the world. And yeah, so is that clear, Vilo?
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll keep listening. I don't have
yeah.
to be up here, but I just wanted to kind of clarify.
Okay, I got a question for you. I got a question for
Sure.
you now. What would you say is your food problem?
What would you say is a food problem?
Your food problem. What would you say is what would be the problem that you notice that you are dealing with when it comes to food or nutrition?
I would say that my food problem would be that there are certain food items that I should be eating that I don't eat because I probably don't like them,
Mm-hmm.
and they're good for me in terms of giving me the nutrients I need. And then I would also say probably the portion of the food, the portions of food. I
Mm-hmm.
probably because maybe I eat like somebody who does manual labor, but I work in an office, for
Okay.
instance, right? I'm saying, so if I work in an office where I'm burning very less calories,
Yeah.
why am I eating like somebody who's a bricklayer?
Yeah,
You know?
but why is that though? I mean, since you notice these things, I do understand when it comes to the, having to eat, or that probably you don't have the appetite to eat certain things, and it's also that you just don't want to eat it. You don't find it nice to eat. But what about the portion control? Why is it that you're unable to, control the portion, knowing that you live a more of a sedentary lifestyle than, a physical labor lifestyle, or always moving? So what's the gap?
I wish I knew, but I would say that I'm of the opinion that it's because I'm used to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, growing up in Africa, I remember that I would get huge portions of rice and huge portions of cassava or huge portions of yam, and you eat that and you feel full, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you feel full and you
Mm-hmm.
keep doing that every day. After a while, you get used to the idea of eating these huge portions.
Mm-hmm.
But then some people get smaller portions when they were younger, growing up, and so smaller portions has always been their thing. Right? They just never never got into it. So I'm maybe just an excuse, but I think that it is because of the fact that I used to get, well, as a kid, a lot of huge portions of food, and I
Yeah.
was just keep doing that.
Yeah. You know, one thing that I noticed, because I've spoken to a lot of different culture, and I've, basically interact with a lot of different culture in terms of African culture. One thing that I noticed is that almost no matter where we are, we sort of have some similarities. And what I mean by this is when it comes to the food, with the quantity of food that we eat. I grew up the same way. I grew up, my mom would prepare our meals, and the amount would be, very, very much. 3 times a day, it would be a lot of food. But the thing is, growing up, when I become my own man, then I noticed that, okay, although this is something that I grew up doing, that doesn't mean that it's something I cannot change. But I think at this point, wouldn't you want to change this, real man, real son?
No, yeah, I do want to change it, but I do also have the problem whereby if I don't eat enough, I feel hungry and I
Yeah.
feel lazy, at least sluggish. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
I think it's like you get to that point where it's like each serves itself.
Okay. Yeah. But because, okay, what about your body? Like, what about your physicality, your body size? Is it, guys, let's get the lights up, y'all. Are you satisfied with your physical fitness, or just meaning your outside appearance?
Absolutely not. I'm actually technically overweight. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this is the reason why I'm having this stream as well, because one thing is for sure, it's not bad. It's not a bad thing. It's best that you know what you are than to be living in a life of basically living away from reality. So the reality is, when it comes to, as a black man or as a African man, a lot of the times when we are overweight, there are some complications that can automatically come with that. And I'm not saying that a lot of people would always have this argument to say, well, even healthy people develop health issues. Yes, sure, surely that's true. But at the same time, two things can be true at once, because at the same time, people who are, overweight or obese, they develop issues quicker, or they are more prone. It's like putting themselves in a situation to attract it or for it to happen. I don't want this to happen to you, real son, but I'm just giving you the fact. But the thing is, and as we get older as well, we have to make adjustment to accommodate the changes that our body has to go through. And I can tell at this point, real son, you want to make the changes, but I think you need the structure, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, and I'm going to listen to what you say. I'll probably follow you, and if there's any solution I can get out of you, I'll definitely try to implement it in my life,
Okay.
and so I can do better. I can do better. I mean, I am trying to work on my weight, but that's why I jumped on your live, because I'm always interested in knowing about nutrition, food, and why we do what we do and stuff like that.
Okay.
So
All right. Thank you, Wilson. And if you like, Wilson, we can have coaching as well. We can get one-on-one coaching with me. You can find the link in my bio if you up for it, or when you're ready to make changes. But anyways, I know as men, we just want to do things by ourselves, and but anyway, you just so you know that this is also available for you.
let me ask you this: is your coaching more focused on the diet, or focused on like lifestyle, or what does it focus on?
It's focused on holistically. So meaning whatever that you, for example, your situation, maybe for you, I would say coaching call could be the first thing that you just presented, but there can be other things that when it comes to lifestyle holistically, that you want to remedy, or some transformation that you are looking forward to. So it's really based, it's and along the way we can discover new goals that can help you, to elevate your lifestyle, to remove the worries and the stress, and also the insecurities, and so you can feel more confident and comfortable into your own future.
All right, appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right, I'll listen below.
All right, Wilson. Okay. Lost artifacts. You want to what's up, man? Lost artifacts. Are you here or not? How's everybody doing in the
Yes, sir.
chat?
I'm right here, my brother. I'm right here. I'm just, been enjoying the conversation and listening to the different aspects and the different problematic issues that other, have African brothers have. I think a lot of it, my brother touched on is it's a cultural issue, right? You're moving to a different culture. You're moving from where you were born and raised at, and genetically where you know what I mean, came from, and then you move into someone else. So obviously there are going to be some issues with your body consuming certain foods, right?
Yeah.
So I think we should be very, very careful into looking into especially our brothers in African brothers in the West, including myself, whether you're born there or you're from there, or migrated there, I should say. We should be very careful into what we are consuming. A lot of the food that we consume here, right? As an East African, my brother, every morning about 4, 5, 3 o'clock, the meat market, there's fresh meat that's being slaughtered. You know what I mean? Now, when I go to the grocery store in the West, I have no idea where this meat came from. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
How much dye that's in there? It looks good from the outside, right? There's been studies that I've done that are
Well,
some of the food that we consume in here in the Americas are kind of like genetically modified, or not even genetically modified, but
not even food sometimes. Sometimes,
right
yes.
vegetables.
Sometimes, wait. Agi, you said what can we do about that in order to put in action? What do you mean? What can you be specific, Agi?
I think the best solution to it, if you have the capabilities, depending on you know what I mean, your life, or what point of your life, grow your own food, my brother. You know, your
Yeah.
own vegetables. You know what I mean, your own, and go to these the small markets, the small farmers that have. You know what I mean? Instead of buying from grocery stores, I went to a grocery store the other day. I bought a shoulder, a lamb shoulder. It came from Australia. I live in the East Coast of America. You know what I mean? How long has it been since that lamb has been slaughtered? The travel it took, you know what I mean?
Let me ask
Looking
you
at the
this lost
stuff.
artifact. What are your thoughts about is malnutrition destroying Africans globally? What are your thoughts about that? Do you agree or disagree?
I mean, I agree. I agree. I agree that that malnutrition is destroying Africans globally. I mean, because obviously you're in someone else's home. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Exactly. And not only that, because I'm gonna talk about, soon I'm gonna talk about traditional African or Afro people diet. Basically, we understand we are, and a lot of us are in a different country. And even if we are, I'm gonna do a show about this also in the future to understand the differences between, we all know that colonization is something that happened, and we can split it in two time frames: before colonization and afterwards. But what were a lot of the time we don't understand, or people don't know what was happening before. We just know what happened afterwards, or during colonization and afterwards. And I think it's necessary that we know what happened before, because our history is constantly being changed or being shaped by somebody else, and we need to know what are the truth. And let's let's do this. Lost artifact. I'm Let me see. I'm an African, so I'm totally agree with that. Then I find solutions. Let's find solutions. Solutions to what exactly? Laziness is not malnutrition. Okay, well, so guys, if you want to come up, send some gifts and keep the likes up, y'all. So lost artifacts. I want to do some. Can we do this? Tell me your favorite snack, and I'll tell you your emotional state when you eat it.
Um,
Do
I'm
you, do you have a favorite?
I don't have a particular favorite snack, right? I'm more type of person. I have a certain eating habit, right? I eat once, maybe twice a day, right? and I'm very particular about what I eat. Um, and it all has to do with who and where I get it from, right? And I'm talking about when I'm living in the West, right? Now, when I'm back home, it's a whole different story, right? So back home, it's more of grains,
Yeah.
naturally grown grains. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh, lamb, or you know what I mean, stuff that is more fresh. You know, the free range lambs, the free range chicken.
So you don't
that
eat
have
you don't eat no snacks itself?
No, no, no. I'm not a huge snack person, my brother. I am
Okay.
not. Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
All right.
I've outgrown that. Maybe in my younger days, I used to, like to have a bag of chips here and there, or some soda or whatever.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But understanding in well, not even understanding, but feeling my own body and how I felt. You know what I'm saying? Afterward,
Yeah.
which took years. I'm not going to say it happened overnight, right? It
Yeah.
took years for me to realize this. I'm better off now. You know what I mean? So snacks not a big issue. It's not my thing, right? And if I do eat, I'll eat stuff that are more whole grain, natural. You know what I'm saying? Fruits. You know what I'm saying? Vegetables, fresh vegetables in my garden. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
An apple here, orange there,
Okay.
something like that. But
All right, but
go ahead.
oranges are not. Yeah, I understand. But let me tell you this. Let me ask you this then. What would you say is your food problem?
My food problem, it has nothing to do with food, right? I wouldn't say food. It's more recognizing the environment that you're in, right?
What do you
It's
mean?
popular in the environment that you're in.
What do you mean
Right.
by that?
As a human being, you are more susceptible to eat what your surrounding environment eats, all right? Unless you have like certain self-control, or not even self-control, but the ability to grow your own stuff, right? Like, can we agree that a lot of the food, I don't know where you live, my friend, and I'm not trying to figure that out, but what I'm saying is
Bonsoir.
the issue is where do you live? Where do you live? Right now, in these certain stores, our Western brothers now created this thing called the Whole Foods, and more organic stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I tend to try to eat that, and not, or shop in those type of areas
Okay.
and
All right.
eat the food that are more organic.
Okay. All right. So, okay, good, good. Do you know what is fiber loss artifact?
Absolutely, absolutely. I know exactly what fiber is. Fiber is
Okay.
really good for your digestive system. It's good for a lot of stuff.
Cardiovascular health,
Cardiac,
and
exactly.
also help you to metabolize, to regulate your metabolism. But did you know that Africans traditionally needs or require 8 times more fiber than any other race, than Caucasian food, processed food diet?
Why do you think that is, though?
No. Because why do you think? But did you know that?
I do, because we're more active. Absolutely, I do. We're more active in the sense.
Not really, not really, not really. But it's more. Okay.
I'm no nutrition. I cannot speak on things that I don't know, right? I can only speak on what I know about my own body, and so. What do you suggest? You tell me.
The thing is, as Africans, we need 8 times more fiber, because again, we have to think about fiber. It helps with digestion, it helps with our cardiovascular health, and also our metabolism. And the reason, we have to be honest, we've talked about it, but the thing is, we are different. Our body requires different nutrition. Just like, for example, when we are in the West, I know, yeah, most of the time we know vitamin D. We know that vitamin D or sunlight is what we requires or our body needs the most. But it's actually deeper than that. It's not only vitamin D. And today,
Absolutely, and I agree 100% on that level.
yeah,
Because I know a lot of African brothers and sisters who live in Africa, born and raised there, as myself, who are vitamin C deficient. So it's beyond just the sun.
Yeah,
It's many other. I agree with you.
many other vitamins that, and we're gonna talk about them. But the thing is, when we eat too little fiber, it gives us. So you can think about this as well, guys. If you're having constipation, or you find it very hard to pass your stool, or you feel bloated, and also you have stomach discomfort, that could mean that you have, or you're not eating enough fiber, especially if you are feeling constipated. But all of the above that I just mentioned. Again, I can go more in details, but the details are more for coaching sessions. Yeah. So just so you guys know, enzyme milk. I'm gonna talk about milk. I'll send you. Okay, Sabi. So I can go more in detail, but I want to keep it short and sweet. Hi. And okay, so that was one, because we're gonna go further. Anybody wanna come up? We can, guys, if anybody wanna come up, you can tell me what is your favorite snack, or what is your favorite thing to snack. Okay. Okay. And then I'm gonna tell you, how do you feel? What is the emotion that you are feeling when you are snacking on these things? Because a lot of the time,
Good evening.
good evening, Resist. How you doing?
Praise the Lord. How
Alhamdulillah.
are you doing? Yes,
Alhamdulillah.
always praise the Lord.
Always, always.
We have a roof overhead. We have a full fridge.
Yes.
We have water.
Full stomach.
I'm rich. I'm rich, brother.
Rich.
I'm very rich.
True.
That's rich.
Nice,
I have a
brother.
roof. I have food. I have drink. Alhamdulillah.
Fresh veg. You decided, Alhamdulillah. So I decided to take only salad. So Aggie, you only eating salad? Is that what you're saying? I mean, you need to eat, and you're gonna hear true. Thanks God. Yeah, that's true. You're gonna hear some of the things that you should also add to your diet, Aggie. So you have to, yeah. Hopefully you stick around. Meat is one, but we're gonna get to that. So
Yes.
Resist. I had a question for you. What would you say is your food problem at this point? Or it could be, you can think of it like this. In what way you would like to improve your food, your nutrition habit? Do you know?
Yes, I started years ago. For example, I do not buy any petrolized milk, because
Pasteurized milk?
that's a fabrication, and that's patented by Rockefeller, because they take all the good stuff from raw milk.
Yeah.
And I drink it, and I tell you, it's very good for the, how do you say that? For the darmen, for your intestines, and for your stomach.
Yeah.
Very healthy. So the last couple of years, I even stopped for a couple of years drinking tap water. I filter my water. Why? Because there is still, it looks very clean, but I have a device that I can check, right?
Yeah.
And all the waters that they are calling bronwater, it's BS.
It's BS. Did you know?
Sparblau?
Did you know? And
Sparblau, yes. But
But-
all the others, Barleduc, it's all BS.
we have to be very careful too. Even like, you live in the Netherlands, Resist. Have you heard a lot of the time now? It's been happening so often that they are finding poop residue in the water, especially in the drinking water. Have you been hearing this?
Yes, there was in Almere, I believe it was, yeah?
Not only Almere, I think they.
No, a few places
A
in
few
the,
places, yeah.
in the, you know why? You know why? Because all the water that we flush through the toilet,
They
what do you think what
recycle.
happened with it?
They recycle them.
They get recycled.
Yeah,
While
I don't
the
drink
Netherlands,
milk
they have
because
enough
it's
water in the ground. They have enough clean water in the ground. And they don't give you that. They recycle the trash.
Yeah.
And eventually it recycles, you flush it, and all the women that have the pill not to get pregnant, it's filled with estrogen. And I don't take my words. Go
What do
to
I
the
have
site
to
of
add in my
RIVM.
salad?
If you go to the site of RVM, they say we cannot filter it out. So yeah, that's that's a big problem. That's a big
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. Okay.
We have been fooled about
Hold
our
on.
food,
Hold on, Resist. Give me a moment. Leila, you said you have sugar craving, right? So let me ask you this: do you feel that you need love, or that you want to give love, Leila? So Aggie, you say, what do you need to add to my salad? You gotta have to wait, Aggie, or you can come back. So, okay, but you said, Resist, that you fix your food problems Oh, you did that a long time ago. Did you know, guys? Okay, so
Brother, you do know the greatest
what?
scam was the pyramid, right? The food
No, no.
pyramid. You know that, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was the
But can you
greatest.
answer what do I need? You need love. Apparently, love to feel loved, Leila.
Actually, peace
So
of mind.
I've been watched. What
That's
is that? Dr. CB Yaki.
I think that's amazing that you said that, man.
love comes the second. Peace of mind first. If you don't have peace, there is no love.
Uh, Peace of mind first, but again, what kind of love? I mean, what kind of love that you would say that what kind of love are you looking for?
Well, brother, I'm blessed. I have a beautiful wife.
No,
She loves me. I love
I'm
her.
asking I'm asking Leila. I'm asking
Oh, yeah,
Leila.
skin. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because she just mentioned why are you trying to okay. That wasn't funny. I've been watching Dr. Yaki and Dr. Sebi. Yeah, Dr. Sebi is no more, y'all. Unfortunately.
Unalive. He's unalive. Just say it.
Yeah.
He's unalive.
Can I say this?
Go
Dr.
ahead.
Baby was
Emotionally.
unalived in Honduras.
Yeah.
Put him in prison, and the next day CIA calls and says, take him out. Take him out. He's talking too much. He's destroying our healthcare, and they take him out.
Oh, go ahead.
I think we should
Lost
look at
artifact.
Hold on. Are you serious right now, man? You say you destroy your healthcare?
Go hold on.
Did you?
Hold on, Silas, bro.
I said,
Just so that?
Hold on.
no, I said Dr. Sabi was trying to
No,
heal
hold on, Silas, bro.
real health.
Guys, hold on. All right. Lost artifact. You wanted to say something, and then we're gonna go to the Silas, bro.
Absolutely, absolutely. In regards to is malnutrition destroying
Emotional.
African globally, I think we should look
You
more
cannot
into-
mute me as facts.
No,
What
but
you say, man?
no,
You don't
Sila-
Drop him,
fucking know
brother.
what
He
the
sounds
fuck you're
drunk.
talking about.
He sounds drunk. Just
Silas,
drop him.
Silas, bro.
Really,
Look,
Dr. Sebi?
no, Silas, bro. You have to wait. Somebody is talking.
Well,
You can wait.
Okay. Well, you know who I am.
Yeah, and I know how. I know.
Like that nonsense.
I know who these guys are
My
also.
brother. We all have.
Let them talk. I want to hear what they got to say.
Yeah, go ahead. Lost artifact.
In regards to the question that's standing is malnutrition destroying Africans globally.
Wow.
I think traditional number one, traditional African diets. We should look at it on different levels. All right, the pre-industrial diets to the main diets, traditional diets or regional diets that are diverse in that country. Specifically speaking, wherever you from, whatever your diet is, right? So there's two different issues here. What we come down to as living in 2026 is we're more of the pre-industrial diet, right? Meaning the processed foods that we eat.
That's
You know,
that's the
it-
post. That's the
let-
post-industrial.
let-
That's
let-
that's not pre. That's post. After
Folks,
the,
I apologize.
Yeah.
I misspoke.
yeah, yeah, because the industrial
Right.
revolution came, and then all these
Most of it
food
has-
products came
Absolutely.
afterwards. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. But what you
So
say
I'll
is
let you go.
it's true. It's true. Lost artifact is you have a strong point, to be honest. Is yeah. So we finish up lost artifact, then we're gonna move to Silas Pro to hear what he has to say.
I think we should be a little bit more concerned with the diets. It's not even a diet thing. I think it's more of the processing level of the foods that we consume in the West in comparison to the less processed foods that we eat. Hence, and more processed food means more mental health issues, more bodily issues, more molecular problems that you have. So I'm just gonna leave it at that, and I'll let my other brothers speak.
Okay. Let me speak to you, brother. You halal?
I do my best to eat halal.
No. Are you halal?
Well, I'm not understanding your question. What does that mean?
Are you halal?
Am I halal? What does that mean?
Well, so you can't speak something you don't know. Because it's just like if you tell me a halal, for example, you bless every food you eat, right? It's halal.
Let me ask you this question: what does halal
I'm
mean?
Muslim.
To you?
You're
What is
Muslim?
halal? What is halal? I mean,
Are you a Muslim?
absolutely, I am.
All right, then. So if you're a Muslim, so you should know halal. So you try to tell me something right now. You don't even understand your own self.
I am sure. I'm sharing an opinion with you. I'm not telling you anything.
No.
I'm just sharing my
Look, can
opinion.
you answer to me, please, brother?
Absolutely, my friend.
Assalamualaikum.
Oh, hold on, Aggie.
Assalamualaikum. So what I said to you,
Peace
I
be with
can
you as well.
be anything I want within. So please, brother, don't do that.
I mean, there's a question here, right?
All right,
We're
Silas Pro.
debating
Silas Pro, how you doing?
Hold on.
Oh, hold on, Silas Pro.
Brother,
Silas Pro,
give me a moment.
can you respond to this question? Silas Pro,
I
hold on.
digress.
Hold on, Lost Artifact.
Can I speak?
Yeah, but you answer. Can you answer this
Okay.
question? Answer this question.
Yes. So when I say to you, Assalamualaikum, akum salam.
What do you
Brother
mean?
Silas, when you say Salaam alaikum, the other person has to say wa alaikum salam. But
my
you,
God.
you said you're a Muslim, Silas? Are you a Muslim? Yeah,
I might be a Muslim.
Yeah, because you are presenting a very bad.
Oh, what,
you are doing a
Aggie?
very bad job here.
But,
Reality.
hey, we're not gonna put you. Welcome, my brother. Welcome.
Thank you.
I will
Yeah.
learn.
So,
You're learning, and I
Right.
that you are a
so
part of this conversation.
if I'm coming to you,
Yeah.
listen to me, please.
Yeah, but Silas, but you also have to talk about the topic. I understand you have a lot on your mind, and sure. Yeah, but can you answer the question, is malnutrition destroying African globally? What are your thoughts on that?
I am. Listen, let me specific, right? Don't matter what they try to tell you. A Muslim, their spirit, and they become hypocrite. They be hypocrites. That's reality. So it doesn't matter what it is, they are spiritual.
Yeah, but as
They
Silas,
will never tell you the facts,
okay.
but that's a fact that they are spiritual. Okay? And that's a fact. So any Muslim brother out here, they know that they do magic the same way.
Okay, Silas, give me a moment. But Silas, you're not talking about the topic, so
Let's go back to
yeah.
the topic.
Let's go back to the topic.
Let me talk.
No, but you have to talk about the
Because
topic, though. No, you have
You
to.
as an African, right? As an African, right? So the fact is facts. It doesn't matter what they try to change it around or whatever. It's a fact.
All right. Okay. Moving forward. Did you guys know?
Okay, back to the topic.
Yeah, back to the topic. So we were talking about earlier, and I'm still on this traditional African Afro diet, or what are the traditional food that Africans
Brother, you do
actually
know who's
eat?
destroying Africa, right? In the
So,
food industry.
so this is what we're gonna be talking about. So the next thing is, did you guys know sodium? A lot of sodium is basically, you can think of it as salt, table salt. So once we ideally need 1/6 in our daily nutrition. And nutrition, a lot of the time, as living in the West, eating a lot of processed food like chips, fries, and even your sweet stuff like candies also have salt in them. So when we eat too much salt, what tends to happen is that this is the reason why in the Afro community or the African community, we tend to have a lot of high blood pressure, hypertension, or we feel bloated, or headaches, or swelling in the feet, or edema, which you call it, and the hands. And it's because, again, you have to check the amount of sodium that you're eating. Normally it's 1/6, so meaning it's a very tiny amount that we need. But a lot of the time, some of us, we are somewhat addicted to salt. Low salt, I take low amount of salt. What's up?
Brother host, what do you think? What do you think the ambulance gives you immediately when they take you in? What do they give you?
Not,
Salt, my brother.
but not when
Salt
the
is not your enemy. Sugar is.
no, salt and sugar are this are
You're
not
mixing up a
good.
lot of stuff, my friend.
You
I
don't.
apologize. I didn't mean to cut you, my brother. But my friend, low. I think you're mixing up a lot of stuff, right? Their traditional whole foods and African patterns are generally, you know, more high in fiber, lower in refined sugar,
Yeah.
less ultra processed. You know what I mean? So what we're talking about is as us Africans living in the West.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How does that destroy us?
Exactly.
Is the question.
That's the question. And when you go to the and when you enter the ambulance, they don't just give you salt. I mean, if you are doing if it's for mostly people who how you call it, who's using drugs all of the time. I'm very healthy and I will put him in a and I put him in an salt. Yeah, whichever salt. We don't need too much salt. But did you guys know the history of salt? Salt, that's why salt was used typically as a preservative. In our body, just like sugar, we don't need that much of it in our body. And salt as well, we don't need much of it. That's why all of the time we tend to have high blood pressure, or we develop bloatedness, or we have headaches. That's because we are consuming too much salt. And that's why when you eat salt, a lot of salt, it makes you feel thirsty because it sucks. Salt typically sucks the water out of your soft tissues, out of your soft organs, such as your eyes, your sexual organs, your ears, and all of these softer, and your joints. We don't need that much salt. And in our daily diet, we tend to eat more than enough salt anyways. So in our African traditional diet, we need to eat very little salt. Again, this is key to understand that our body requires things that are different. And I remember somebody asked me this, where have we gotten our information when it comes to nutrition from? And a lot of the time we get it from the West. And when we get it from the West, so which means we're gonna follow a different cultural diet pattern that doesn't fit our genetic needs. And this is why this is important. Lost artifact. You wanted to say something?
I think that's a very good point that you brought up, my friend. I think the Western diet is more compromised, you know, in a lot of you know what I'm saying, more high, you know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just gonna listen, man, because this conversation is going a little left and right. I think individually, everyone should eat what is good for them. Everyone should have an idea of what their body needs are.
If I would give you an advice, my brother, do the opposite of the government tells you. The government tells you stay out of the sun and put
I don't know what
sunscreen
the
in.
government has anything to do with it.
Well,
No, 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 no.
yes, yes.
Tell him, resist, because that's also.
Yeah, they do, brother. They do.
Yeah.
The government tells you the opposite of staying healthy. The government does not work for the people. The government works for the bigger corporations. We don't see them, but that's who they work for. When the government tells you to stay out of the sun, I do exactly the opposite. I stay in the sun. And you know what I put on my skin? Pure olive oil. Nothing wrong with it. Because if you can eat it, you can also put it in your skin.
True.
If you cannot eat it, don't
Then-
put it in your skin because it just
Exactly.
comes in your blood.
Yep.
I agree
Exactly.
with you. I agree with you.
Some
100%,
people,
my friend.
that's the thing. It's like we have been so beaten down with misinformation. Some people think that they can put something on their skin as if we don't have pores. Did you guys know the pores, even though you cannot see it, if you would use a microscope, we all have tiny holes all over our body. So that's how that's our sweat glands are different, but that's the way that all of whatever we put in our body, it enter our bloodstream. And and our skin is the longest organ, but at the same time, everything that you put. That's why sometimes they'll say, do not drink a top of water, but then if the water is not good enough to drink, you shouldn't be putting it in your skin. So it's a lot of misinformation, or just basic misinformation by not giving us the full information that we need. to take better care
And
of.
they won't, brother. They won't. They
Yeah.
will not, because there is an agenda. They don't want you to be healthy. They want you to be a customer that lives to chronicle sick, that you have to use medicines for the rest of your life. The whole healthcare system is built on oil, and not the good oil, if you know what I mean. Because prior to Rockefeller taking the whole healthcare system and all the education, becoming a doctor, they are not doctors. They are prescribing pills for you. That's what they do. The real medicine, there's a beautiful verse in the Bible. God says, let thy food be thy medicine. And I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly, because I
Yeah.
grew up in Morocco and we had leaves, herbs to get cured. And then you get cured, not like just attacking the symptoms. No, real cure is
Real cure.
found in nature.
And and real cure supposed to be found in your food. That's the thing. Aggie, you keep asking me the same question. Is resist nonsense? What do you mean? Is resist nonsense? I don't believe them. I don't understand what you mean, Nadia. Is
Well, no problem, brother.
Is
You know,
resist nonsense? Wait,
when you give
resist.
information and somebody will say it's
Oh,
just let it go.
resist. Oh, you mean if resist is talking nonsense? Not. I mean, in terms of what? Can you specify?
Well, that's his opinion. That's his opinion. I'm not here to convince anybody.
Okay.
I am not here to convince anybody. What I say, I practice. So the things that I do for myself, I do for my family,
They
for my
use
children.
olive
I don't
oil.
drink tap water.
Green.
With that understanding, I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
They
No,
leave.
no, go ahead.
They use olive oil, ghee, butter minus the bread. You cannot eat healthy than Tajian. Yeah. Oh, you mean with the oil? He can. Yeah, you can put. That's no. He's not. Resist is not talking nonsense. If you cannot put the oil on your skin and you can eat it at the same time, then it's best that you check what you put in on your skin, because once you put it in your skin, it enters your body as well. That's why as a woman, that's why there's a lot of time with this saying, also for us men, when it comes to breast cancer, they say a lot of different heavy metals that has been found in the spray, underarm spray, and this or the roll on and stuff
Exactly. I
like
wanted to
that,
say that deodorant.
deodorant, all of the above, and they enter our bloodstream. So that's why a lot of the time nowadays people are getting cancers earlier, and we are developing new foreign alien diseases, and people are thinking, okay, where is this coming from? It's because of all these things that we put in our body and expect our body to basically
But in order to
function
do that,
differently.
excuse me 1 second, all right? So we are, as Africans who live in the West, we are more care dependent in this infrastructure, all right? So you have to, in order to survive,
Yeah.
or at least have some type of. So the question should be, what can we do to combat that? You know what I'm
To
saying?
combat what exactly?
The infrastructure that we live in.
To combat which part? Well, actually, I understand your question now, but that's what I talk about daily, lost artifact, different methods, and
Absolutely.
to combat that, because again, when it comes to calcium, we need 7 times more calciums than any other race, because calcium help us to build bones, as we know. I'm talking about the main functions of it: strong bones and strong teeth. But too little of it means that we feel weaker than normal. We have brittle bones, which is osteoporosis, like when our bones becoming very weak and feeble. It increases fracture risk or dental issues. So we need 7 times more calcium. And again, when you think about calcium, a lot of people will say, okay, well, we need to go to milk. And milk, cow milk, over 70% of Africans are, our body just don't process cow milk. Our body, it just basically it gets into our stomach, it becomes waste. That's why we have lactose intolerant people who just basically, our body just, it sees it as foreign.
70%?
It's over 70%. So
Wow.
yeah, and the best milk that we could have or we should have, is glitching. Oh, I don't see it. Anybody experiencing that is glitching? Maybe you probably need to. Yeah, it's maybe they are very busy tonight. So the best milk, yes, you cannot drink cow milk. I drink almond milk. Yes, African Americans, I'm lactose intolerant. Yes, most of us are lactose intolerant.
Brother, you do know there is no almond in our mix, right?
Almond,
It's like 1%.
that's another thing. That's a great,
That's another thing they lie to.
that's
Stay
a,
away from soybeans.
yeah,
Everything with soy,
olive,
you can look it up.
olive,
It has estrogen. It's the same as estrogen.
yes.
This is in soybeans, and you will find it in every product today.
Exactly. And look, hold that thought, Lost Artifact. Hold that thought. One thing I want to tell you guys, even the milk, you said you drink almond milk. I would say, Nadia, you're better off drinking, if you must have milk, because we grew up drinking milk or eating, food that are milk or cereal, or you make our coffee or tea, whatever, with milk. You're better off eating lactose-free milk than having the almond milk. We know why? Just like Resist just said, take the bottle and flip it. What you will notice is that behind it says, yes, flip it. When we finish, or even right now, you can go check the bottle behind it. If maybe I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you have the almond milk that are freshly organic, because you can get fresh organic almond milk, but the majority of the mainstream ones are, you'll see less than 10% of the entire content what is in this package, is less than 10% of it is almond milk itself. So that makes you ask, then what else is in there? It should be 100%. Let's say, have you ever bought like butter, like peanut butter? It says like the amount of everything that you bought that is a product that is made, it's gonna show you the percentage. Thank God, at least they are being honest about that. If or they are being transparent. We don't know how honest they are being, but at least they are being transparent. I don't like peanut butter, but it's not this is not about peanut butter, but it's more about the milk. I make hemp milk. Okay, you see, cigar wood. If you make the almond milk yourself, that's a different situation. He makes
It's oftenly highly fortified with vitamin D.
Yeah.
So if it needs to be fortified with it, shouldn't you get it from the source? I mean, there are a lot of Africans that live that as East Africans, we're a pastoral industry. We camel milk is extremely strong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These people survived off of that in certain regions. So hence, going back to regional issues, going to a Western world, it's kind of difficult to find those your needs, or your, you know what I'm saying, your bodily or genetic, not even genetics, but your bodily needs.
Yeah.
We consumption needs, I should say.
I never had intolerance back in Europe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe you're not intolerant, Nadia, because not everybody are lactose intolerant. Maybe you are not. But maybe you are not. But the only way that you can find out is to probably test it, or you can see how your body actually operate with it. If you drink the milk, then you have diarrhea, then, or you just don't, it doesn't feel normal. Because there are some people who can drink cow milk. Although I would say it's best, the cow milk should be left, for the calves itself. No, I was diagnosed. Okay, you was diagnosed. I do know
That's an opinion.
American are lactose intolerance. I do know a lot of American are lactose. Yeah, go ahead.
Did you know there is on Netflix there is a series, and this Caribbean island, these people were very healthy. Yeah. All the men, strong abs. The women, strong. This is how they lived. They hunted and they went after fish, etc., etc. They had a very healthy community, right? America comes along, brings them Coca-Cola, brings them Nestle, brings them those cereal shit, and all those other crap. Now, today, they have the highest amputation because of diabetes.
Yep.
It's on Netflix. You can watch it. It's diabetic.
Yeah.
This is what they do. Africa was very healthy. But then they invited Bill Gates and he brought them GMO and all those other stuff. And today Africa is going to be very unhealthy. Why? Because they left what is whole food, real food, and go after the like the easy meal and the fast food.
It's not only that his everything is here is everything is chemical. Yeah, but there was yeah, in Florida, yeah. I mean, in the US, there are some place it's very expensive to go organic. That's what they do because they make it very expensive. That's the trick that they use because they make
Absolutely.
it so. Think about it, y'all. Think about it. Imagine organic. So meaning you can think of almond, for example, something that the ground produce normally. If you get the almond, it's fresh, but they make this fresh almond more expensive than the processed one. And the processed one, what is it called? What does it mean? You need to get a something to put it in, a container to put it in. You need to have labels around it. Everything to make it very nice and presentable. You need to also take the almond and crush them up, mix it, you know, all of these process. So which mean logically the organic should be the cheapest, logically, hands down. So that's the difference between buying an almond milk versus getting buying the milk that buying the almonds, fresh almonds, making your own milk versus having the almond milk, which has a long process along the way. That should be more expensive because it has a long process and it has e numbers, a lot of chemicals in it. It should be more expensive, but for some reason they make the organic one more expensive. Don't you guys see this is a game that they play with us?
Still buy the organic, and I will tell you why. Because you
Yeah,
will be healthier.
true.
Why? Now, if you buy the cheap one with all the chemicals, once you do get sick and you were like cutting on €2 or €3, you will give everything you have to become healthy again.
Yep.
So why not prevent?
What about raw meat? Um, there are some cultures that eat raw meat, but again, you can eat your meat
Not me.
differently. Yeah, not you.
I like my meat on a barbecue.
Barbecue, yeah, or steam or
I like
boiled,
this.
boiled, not fried, y'all, not fried meat. Don't fry your meat. I like Japanese. We don't eat raw meat. That's the same. Yeah, but
Or roasting a whole lamb.
yeah, that's delicious. All right. So, how many of you guys know what is phosphorus? Phosphorus, as Africans, we need 5 to 8 times higher the amount of phosphorus than any other group. So, meaning, when we think about phosphorus, what it does for our body, it repairs our tissues. It creates DNA, and you guys, a lot of people should know what DNA are or what it is, and RNA. And also your pH balance or your pH level, it helps it to balance it. It helps to support muscle contraction. When I'm moving my mouth right now, there's a muscle contraction that is happening. And it's also helpful for your heart function because your heart is a muscle as well. And also helps with nerves signaling. So how do you know when your body has too little amount of phosphorus is when you have severe muscle weakness. You just feel weak in your muscle, or you have joint pain, or you have experiencing fatigue. So that's how you can know. But I was gonna say weak bones. But again, if you're feeling weak, if you're feeling you're just always fatigued, then that could be a sign that you need phosphorus. And I don't give this. I'm not talking about the type of food or that you can find these minerals and vitamins in, but I'm just talking about what they do and how much as people that we need. Did you talk about salt in African food? I talk about it. I said, and not only in African food, but in all people food. We eating too much. We consume too much salt, and that's very good to know. What about eggs? The embryo of chicken. Yeah, it's good. Do you guys eat eggs? Resist. Oh, he's
Absolutely,
wait.
absolutely.
Hold on. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought.
I was
Okay.
not kidding when I said this. This is what I did with the Eid. I invited all the family and I let this lamb roast for over 6 hours. And I can tell you, it was absolutely delicious.
Sheesh. That looks. I thought you were kidding, but
No, I'm not
hey,
kidding. I'm not kidding.
Well, what is it? An acid-base balance. You need to. Absolutely.
yeah, you need it
Absolutely, yeah.
because it helps to recreate your DNA. Yeah, resist. That's delicious. I do, but not much. I eat more alkaline food. Yeah, okay. But also, even when we eat a lot of alkaline food, but did you guys know we need our pH level to be balanced, but we also sometimes need healthier acid foods. Like for example, some fruits. Let's say from some fruits are acid, like they have a higher acidic content in them. So that's such as what should I say?
Citrus acid.
Citrus. Yeah, citrus.
Do you know that they actually use a mole? It's not from citrus. They call it citrus acid. Don't believe me? Just Google it.
It's a mold. What
They
did you
are.
say?
It's a mold. Yes, it's a black mold.
In fruit.
That's where they get this citrus from. So they create this in a lab instead of using lemons or
Okay.
limona or citrus.
Lemon. Yeah.
I tell you, they want you dead. Not only sick, dead.
They want us, yeah, on a live. Let's say on a live. Amazing. So, okay then. So moving forward is the vitamins. Yes, that's correct. Yeah. Vitamins. We need higher level of water and fat soluble vitamins. So, and also you guys know about the sunlight already. We need 80% more sunlight and to stimulate our pineal organ. And most people that we already know that we need vitamin D if you are in Europe or somewhere that you don't see the sun, you don't interact with the sun, you need D3 in combination with other vitamins. What about drinking lemon water? That's good. I'm actually having some right now. Yes, and fruits-based water. Yeah. Vitamin, yeah, true. True wood. All right. So key limes, water, or even lemon is lemons with that has lemon is also good. D'accord. Oh, you speak French, Aggie. And we need a lot of water, y'all. A lot of the time, some people just do you guys remember to drink your water? We need 90% higher water intake than yes. Always drink your water, y'all. You need water because it helps the body to function properly. And you guys know already, if you don't know, that our body is over 70% water made. I'm a camel. I drink so much. Yeah. And when it comes to vegetables and fruits, we need 85% higher of organic vegetables and fruits. And meat, we were talking about meat earlier. One thing is for sure, our meat has to be organic, as Rizes just shown. We need to eat organic meat as much as possible, and we don't need to eat that much meat. And
Explain what organic is, though. Organic. What does that mean?
organic,
Explain to the
I mean,
average person that hasn't a clue what
meat,
that means.
meat here is
Explain that.
terrible. Meat, do you want to get the meat as close? Okay, on meat that are organic, for example, is if you're gonna get a chicken, most people eat chicken. It's best that you get the chicken parts itself or the chicken, or better yet, a whole chicken. Some people will the ones that is processed is like when they have the flattened one that you can put, like the quick ones that you can, it's once it's in a package, white meat, yeah, that one, if it's sliced, you have to take that you can make a sandwich with it. That means it's processed. So although
I think it's a little deeper than that. All right. I think it goes more further into the organism that you're consuming's lifestyle. You know what I mean?
okay, yeah, we can talk
You know what I
about
mean?
that as well. That is
Yeah,
yeah.
it has everything
No,
to do with
go
that.
ahead.
We're a meat consuming our organism. The organisms that we consume, we have to make sure, as the higher level consciousness that we are, that when we are eating them, that we make sure that we, you know what I mean, slaughter them in a way, you know what I mean? Because fear has a biological effect, right?
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, it does.
Do you agree that fear has a body, like your body tense up, your muscles tense up, and if you consume an organism that's in fear of dying, will that, as you as a higher organism, will that affect you?
It release because an animal that is fear of dying or during the slaughtering process, it release a certain type of hormones in the meat itself. So
Absolutely.
some people would think that okay, doesn't affect us, but we also
Absolutely.
it does. We also living in a life right now that a lot of people just basically they we don't have time to think about these things. And even when we go because when it comes to the meat, we don't get to choose. We don't get to choose it. We choose, I mean, we choose what when we go to the store, we choose what we're gonna eat. That's why it's best to go halal. I mean, it gives you that peace of mind. Yeah, go ahead,
Well, I don't think it goes beyond just a peace of mind. It literally defines the nutrients that you receive from what you're consuming, right? Even in an animal kingdom, right? Certain predators kill their meat as
On a,
quickly as possible
yeah.
in comparison
And
to
the first thing they go for is the liver. The lion, the first thing he goes for is the liver. Now tell me, can you buy
No,
liver today like
brother.
in
They do go for the liver, but what I'm saying is, how do they make sure this animal, you know, passes away as quick as possible before? So there's a difference between the wild dogs in Africa in comparison to a lion. A lion will grab you by the neck, make sure you're gone, and then eat you in comparison to eating you alive. Now, a lot of East Asia, right? I've seen people eat live octopuses and put them in some sauces and bite their heads off. And I think not. It's a personal opinion, right?
Yeah.
And this is
Well, what is your point on lost artifact? What is your point?
the point is this, right? Is that you are what you consume.
Okay. All right. Let's Jimmy, what's in your
I
mind?
agree. That's why I stay away from pig.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Always stay away from that. Jimmy, what's in your mind?
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. We can hear you.
Hello.
All right. Jimmy is not ready. Okay. So let me see. What else. Is African involved in the lies we have been told about Africa? So do we still need to save kids? What do you mean by that? Do you guys understand what he means? What this person means?
That do we need to save kids? I don't understand.
I don't understand. He needs to give like you guys need to give a full picture of what you're saying.
Did she say
So-
kids? Did she say we need to save kids?
Yeah, don't worry about that. Jimmy, is malnutrition destroying Africans globally? What are your thoughts?
I think from my own point of view, I think we should create is a sense of creating multiple menus in order to help them develop more agricultural, bring agricultural awareness in some of those parts of Africa who are suffering from malnutrition. That's my own observation that I've been observing, like places like Sudan. They are being they suffer from malnutrition because lack of food, lack of sense of creating menu. Just like, for example, in Cameroon, we have about 3,000 types of meals. By the time you start combining this and this, you come out with the right nutrition or the right dieting. It helps to reduce that malnutrition. So to me, that's one of the things I've observed for some time.
Yeah.
And I realize that they are suffering from these things, which they really need to educate them on how they can go about. I believe that can reduce, and it can also be a cure by
True.
us telling them the right
True.
menu to
Yeah.
behind menus and how it is supposed to be consumed. So I think that's one of the things that I've observed.
Jimmy, okay, I agree with you, but we have to also understand malnutrition that has two sides. There's the lacking part, but there's also the part that we when we consume the wrong things. So basically, we've all just like we've agreed to focus on food that are organic. When malnutrition is also when we eat foods that are processed, because processed foods are
Yes.
it's like eating garbage basically. They although
Brother, you said it
although
well. Organic, and our
al-
body is also organic.
although
So if you don't give,
look when although they can be tasty, they can be enjoyable, pleasurable, but when it comes to giving our body what it needs to function ideally, it's not doing that. So this is also a malnutrition because we are getting this food, we are eating fast food, junk food, and then expect our body to be functioning the way that we want it to. So that's what I mean. Rizis, go ahead.
well, I just wanted to add, you said it well. Organic, our body is organic. So if you give your body something that the body does not recognize, it tells you, yo, what the hell are you doing? What are you giving me? I cannot work with this. So you have to give your body what it needs. And it's all in nature. If it's chemical, put it in your body. But eventually, within time, you will get sick.
Yeah, yep. It's breaking down, destroying your body over time, slowly by slowly, putting your body in a deficit, in a situation where you constantly have to be fighting for your survival.
Very
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
I think that with food consumption, especially in the West, has more to do with dopamine
sure.
than anything else, than actual nutrition, right? So nutrition has been replaced with dopamine, the pleasure chemical in our brain. So as long as you're satisfied, you might die a lot younger, or a lot earlier. You know, Allah knows when you're gonna die, but at the same time, you have an obligation to make sure what you eat is consumable, and it affects you uh, biologically, and you know what I mean.
It's
So it's a lot of factors that we cannot like literally. We can't like tone it down to one word, right?
yeah,
It's a multi problem issue here. You know what I'm saying? There's motivations here. There's a reward anticipation, reinforcements. All of that comes with just by what you eat, right? Your thought patterns come from. It literally goes back to you are what you eat. You know what I mean?
and also it's to understand that it's not just about thinking about okay, are we gonna earn a life, but it's about the quality of your life that you're living in, because it's more ideal, it's better that you do the things that your body requires you, or give your body what your body needs, so you can so you can live the quality of life that you don't have to be worrying, you don't have to be concerned,
Absolutely,
you can have
absolutely.
your
There
energy,
are certain
you can
tribes
have
in,
you
in,
can
in
have
in
your
Africa that
vitality when you need it, and all of these things. Because I mean, surely we know all of us have that one thing in common, but what quality of life that we're gonna be living along the way? What are you gonna say?
well, it depends on. Again, I'm going to go back to it depends on the type of lifestyle or the life that you want to live. Depends on what you consume,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's absolutely what you consume, whether you are, you know what I'm saying, wherever you're from in this world, right?
yeah. We have Kojo. Kojo, what's on your mind, Kojo? Is malnutrition destroying
Yeah,
African
hello,
growth?
hello, good afternoon, hello, good afternoon. In regards to malnutrition, are you talking about people that don't have enough to eat, or people that are not eating the right things for themselves?
Both of yeah, you just got it. Both of them. I mean, you were hearing.
Okay, so this I look at it in two phases. With the malnutrition in the continent of Africa, obviously is unfortunately is due to bad leadership and, honestly speaking, a lack of know-how. we can mass produce because this was done in the 70s in Malawi. Malawi was the first and only African country to be mass exporting food during that time. Before it was the other way around. There were most African countries were importing food. Most African countries are still importing food, but Malawi was the first African country to export. So I'll say, in regards to malnutrition, is obviously corruption and lack of know-how in Africa. But in regards to the Africans in the diaspora, it's ignorance. Not knowing the right food for yourself, and overly indulging on food. If we look at the statistics, a lot of leading illnesses that underlie us Africans especially in the West, is cardiovascular illnesses such as high blood pressure, heart attacks,
Strokes.
things like strokes, diabetes.
Yeah.
So on one hand, it's Africa malnutrition is obviously government corruption, and then the other hand, for us in the West, it's just purely a lack of knowledge with a bit of laziness.
Yeah, exactly. Lack of knowledge. Because some people would say what they don't know can't hurt them, but the fact of the matter is what you don't know can hurt you. So that's a well said. Guys, I would appreciate you guys send some gifts, and you can become a member here as well. So it has a membership. Okay, we have Kojo. That's nicely said. And
another thing, another thing I wanted to say.
Awesome.
And us sorry.
Go ahead, Kojo.
Us as Africans were overly superstitious. I'll give you a scenario. You hear like one African auntie talking to another African auntie. Oh, did you hear what happened to Brother Michael? They were like, what happened? Oh, he came out. He woke up and walked to his kitchen and just slumped and unalived. They'll say, it's one wicked uncle back in the village. No, Brother Michael, he wakes up in the morning, he eat pounded yam, he eat KFC, rather than
he eats a lot of salt. Yeah,
but rather
exactly.
than looking at the actual reasoning, they'll blame one auntie or one uncle in the village that it's very silly. I'm gonna go on mute now.
No, it's true what you said, to be honest, because a lot of the time we've heard when someone is ill, they say, okay, well, somebody it's how you call it, some culture will say it's a spirit, or it's someone that is trying to eat this person alive and all of that, rather than focusing on what, like, the superstition really goes so deep, rather than changing their diet or focusing on the things that they are eating, or focusing on elevating their lifestyle. Anybody have something they want to say about this, the superstition part? Anybody?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
It is common. It is common because actually people really do not. They always look at the other sides. They don't look at, because you just see someone looking healthy or looking fat. You hear the next that this person is dead. They'll just assume that maybe it comes from their village. They must have followed him through witchcraft and all the lights, not knowing that sometimes our body needs checkup. We cannot just be saying today you are fine and you are fine always. So it is always good when you have the opportunity, you should go in for checkup.
Yeah.
Because that has cost a lot. At the end of it, we'll discover that it is heart attack. This has happened because we're not following up our health.
Exactly. And that means as well, we don't get the opportunity to live a long life as we were designed to live. And that's the sad part. That's the sad reality. So meaning we leave our loved ones behind earlier. We leave our responsibility behind earliest. So we don't get to fully experience this experience that we all are having, which is to live. And one thing I want to ask you, Jimmy, what would you say is one food problem that you have at this moment?
One food problem.
Or you can look at it like this. In what way would you like to transform or make your nutrition better? That's for you, Jimmy.
Sorry, I have a small network
Or your network?
problem,
Yeah,
so
okay.
I didn't get the question.
All right. So what is one food problem that you are dealing with? Did you get that, Jimmy, or not?
Like yes, like what I'm dealing in like in food production.
No, no, no,
I
no.
don't get.
No. Think about what you eat. Yeah. Would you like to make
Yeah.
would you like to make any changes into your food, what you eat, or your nutrition? Would you like to, is there something, let's say for example, if you look at the chat, Kojo just said, I'm trying to cut back on sugar. Are you trying to do the same or something different?
Yes, mine is the opposite. I say I have to work more on the fooding due to my health.
What do you mean?
You know, so, like some don't need like things like enough fat and oil in their food, but due to my health, I need it. I need to increase it. The fat and oil, the carbohydrates, due to my health.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you need to. All right. Do you
Shall I
have,
tell you one of the best foods, brothers and sisters? I kid you not.
what is it?
This is it. Watch.
What is it?
Olive oil.
Olive
If
oil?
you don't take this every day, you are not putting any food in your body. If you don't take pure olive oil, this comes from Morocco, this is from my family, he has land there, and every year I get like 30 liters. This is gold.
So
Olive oil.
okay,
Pure.
why should people eat or drink olive oil?
Well, just the benefit of olive oil is abundant.
Such as?
Abundant.
Such as?
Just polyphene. I don't know it in the Dutch. Er zit polyphene in. En die zijn, dat is gewoon eigenlijk bijna, it's like fuel for the body.
Okay.
So every day, at least one spoon on an empty stomach, because I don't do breakfast. That's BS. Breakfast is,
Okay.
Bismillah.
All right.
Breakfast is made by Rockefeller. We never ate 3 meals a day. Never. Our ancestors never ate 3 meals a day.
meals a day,
If they
no.
ate 1 meal a day, that was it.
Yeah, you
But
eat.
today they tell you to go have some breakfast,
Yeah.
and then have some lunch, and then we ask ourselves, why do we get sick?
We constantly we constantly putting food putting food in our stomach. But that goes back
But what?
that goes back to what Lost Artifact said as well. In the West, we are eating our emotions away. We are eating a lot of time for emotional reasons. Or we just, maybe because, for example, it could be that we are bored, or it could be that, okay, we have been indoctrinized or taught that we need to be eating a few square meals per day. But when our body could actually need differently, our body basically can just basically saying that, hey, you don't need to be eating 3 meals. What about one? And as time goes by, as we get older as well, our body just shift. And some people, we don't recognize when our body is changing, and we just continuously keep doing the same thing until our body just gives us a sign, high blood pressure. Our body just gives us a sign, obesity. Our body, all of these are signs. But again, there's always a moment that you can make changes and to reverse it. But there are times that you are too far gone. In Ethiopia, we eat three warm and 2 in between meals. Okay. I mean tea. Okay. You drink tea. Okay. But all right, Kojo.
Tea before and even after their menu. That's one thing I love about them.
Whose menu?
Yeah.
Whose menu?
Another thing that helps is garlic. If anyone has the chance to eat at least a clove of garlic in the morning, what I try to do, I wake up in the morning, I have green tea I have green tea, and I get a lemon and cut it in half, and I squeeze both lemon inside, so it's green tea with lemon.
Yeah.
And I also have a clove of garlic as well. Garlic is good for your blood flow. It's good for to cut back on high blood pressure.
Yeah.
And green tea is also good for losing weight because it acts as an appetite suppressant. So when I drink my green tea in the morning, my first meal of the day is probably around 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And the brother from Morocco, he's 100% right. Breakfast, in my personal opinion as well, it's we shouldn't be eating breakfast. Or let's say if you work in construction or a very physical job, then yeah, fair enough. You can eat breakfast because you're gonna burn that energy. Or yeah, you can have a high protein breakfast. But in general, I tell people, especially people that are
Ginger
trying
is
to lose
good.
weight, I tell them to stay away from breakfast.
And well,
But
it really it really
in
matters
Africa,
too. If you're
it
gonna have
will be very,
breakfast,
very difficult
if you're gonna
because,
have breakfast, what
especially
really
in those
matters
areas
is
where things are highly
hold on,
difficult,
Jimmy.
they must
What
always
hold
want to
on,
push
Jimmy, hold on.
heavily in order to sustain them to do the hard
One
jobs.
moment, Jimmy. So if you're gonna have breakfast as well, it's really key what are you gonna eat? Because breakfast could be your tea. Breakfast could be just a cup of water. You know, it's all of the time we think when they try to tell us what we should eat for breakfast, for example, cereal, because again, we are customers. They need to sell us a product. So you have to think about that as well.
Exactly.
Garlic is antibacterial. One thing, Kojo, about garlic is that if you guys have experienced this, what Kojo said is true. And to add to it is that garlic is a good way of fighting or removing parasites or worms from your body. If you feel that you have parasites and parasites live, I don't want to get grimy about this, but we all have some form of level of some form of parasites, and we need constantly to be cleansing our body. This is the reason why we hydrate,
Don't
we
forget
cleanse.
pure honey, brother. Pure honey.
Pure honey.
Echte honey. Real honey.
Clove,
Also
clove is
antibacterial,
good.
and it never goes like waste. Honey, you can preserve it for 30, 40, 50, endless, just like salt, because bacteria cannot touch it.
Yeah.
Mashallah.
All right, guys. Guys, can you guys yes, honey is very good. Yeah, it depends on the honey. Honey is very good. What do you want to say? Lost artifact?
I say that this planet is self-sufficient and it has been for forever, before us and after us. So it's important to understand, instead of arguing about what we should consume, everything has already been provided for us, and it always comes from the earth. You know what I mean? Mother Earth is the best medicine you can ever get is from Mother Earth. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, they brainwash the people,
One
brother.
second, my brother. As Africans, we have a certain understanding of that. And unfortunately, our brothers from the Western, when I say Western, I don't mean, in any kind of a bad way. I'm just saying they're just they are getting ready to understand that, right? Everything has already been, what has been will always be, right?
Sure.
Everything's provided. Ginger, garlic.
Basically, the bottom line of what last
What's that?
artifact is saying, the bottom line is if God didn't make
Thank you,
it,
sir.
if God or Allah didn't make it, stay away from it. If you're gonna eat it and you see it's man-made, then you know you're gonna have man-made issues.
I think that's the biggest issue we having right now. The conversation should be: is this man-made or is it natural? And this is the biggest issue in the 21st century, the year of 2026, and we're still trying to figure out what is going on with us with all of these diseases such as cancer and diabetes and all of that stuff. Where did that come from? We didn't have these issues.
I will tell you where it comes from.
100 years
It
Honey
comes
is
from Bill
good,
Gates,
but,
brother. It comes from Bill Gates.
Well, you listen.
He's a demon in disguise.
It's okay. So
Resist.
I kid you not.
Resist really don't like this guy.
I try not to point fingers, but I try to bring solutions. The only solution here is what are you doing within yourself? How are you taking care of yourself with that knowledge that you have as a human being? You know what I'm saying? And the sustainability that you have. Is it not wrong to say he's the problem? Oh, that's the problem. I mean, we have many, you know, organisms that attack the human body, and the white blood cells always are best friends. So there's many biological issues here.
Yeah.
Let's just stay
Change
focused
this
on
one
the
with this.
fact that
All
we
right.
are good. And,
Guys,
you know,
guys, this is
we
a
belong here.
guys. Look
We
at this.
belong in the,
This
we
is
belong on this earth, man.
this is a Ramadan gift. I don't know how it is. If anybody would feel so generous to activate it, that would be so cool. Industrial products are huge. Yeah. All right, guys, we are at the tail end of the show. Kojo, what are your closing thoughts? Last and closing thoughts.
Yeah, thanks for the hosting me. I mean, bringing me up. I'll say health is wealth, and if you want any change in life, it starts from the person. Whether it's academic, you study more, read more. Whether if it's financial, you try to save your money, be more financial literate, and yeah, we should just realize that we only have one life, and the more you start now exercising and eating well, by the good grace of the Lord, that would make aging a lot more fun.
Exactly.
And will age you a lot more slower. So a lot of us, inshallah, we want to have grandkids and all that stuff. I want to be 75, and I take my grandkid to the park and play football and
I
run.
wanna be 90, man. I wanna be 90. Be
Yeah,
able to do
exactly.
that.
Yeah, I just put
Yeah.
just to be humble, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's my main point. But
Yeah.
thank you.
But but that's well said, Kojo. Well said, because it's not about the amount, but it's more about the quality, the ability that you have, your peace of mind that you can, you can do the things that you want to do. You have your functionality. This is very important. And I'm also sometimes in the future I'm gonna be talking about. I don't know if you guys are really into how you call it, longevity research, basically ways, man-made ways, or ways that they are trying to find ways to make us live longer. But whether you guys are not interested in it, or whether you are or not, I still think it's relevant information to to keep us up to date with what's happening. So I'm gonna be talking about these things in the future as well. Resist. What are your closing thoughts, Resist?
Sorry, brother. I was making like about talking about health. My advice: I always do this once a week. I do the bottles. This is ginger, curcuma, and absolutely 100% cocos water.
Cocos water. Okay.
And cumin, black seed. It cures almost everything except that.
Yeah. Except that. Okay, guys, I would appreciate if you're gonna be, I see the gentlemen, guys, would you become a member as well? I see the ladies are doing it, but you guys are being stingy, guys. Like, I would appreciate it. You can do that as well. And let me put Kojo down. Become, to support what I'm doing. All right, thank you, Resist. What about you, Lost Artifact? What are your closing thoughts?
Well, I think when I think about myself, I think about the people that brought me here, the generations that I got here from, right? Because I can only speak for them, and I can only speak for my own little moment that I have in this generation of this thing that's called life. So whether what you eat, it always has everything to do with just, man, bring a little bit of love into it, man.
Yeah.
It's about soul matter. You know what I mean? Obviously, take care of your body, right? But there are higher obligations here that we need to speak about besides what we put in our mouth. So peace to every single one of you. I wish you all well. I wish that we can change the world in a way. I think we already have, because we are the world. But I wish you all peace, man. God bless every single one of you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless every single one of you, brothers and sisters, and may you find peace within your own hearts.
Yeah. Thank you, Lost Artifact. Well said. Thank you. So, Lost Artifact brought it full, very complete. So with bringing spirituality into it. So any questions so far that you guys have? Chanel, how you doing? You're welcome. Aggie, you've